अभी आपको बराह रास्त लिए चलते हैं लाहौर, जहाँ पर वफाकी वज़ीर तवानाई अवैस लग़ारी इस वक्त तकरीब से खिताब कर रहे हैं।
TDC and CPPA's existing workforce contributing into the company. So ISMO, the creation of ISMO would then help us move towards realizing the dream of wheeling energy on an efficient basis to the bulk consumers in the first phase and to others in the next. This was actually committed by the power division to happen in the year 2009, but still has not been a reality for us. So we are hoping that inshallah within the next 1 year or so, we should have the bulk consumers actually having an environment in place where they could buy renewable and efficient power from producers, and that power could be, those electrons could be wheeled all the way to the premise of these businesses. And the competitive market, we are hoping that in the next 3 to 4 years would evolve and mature into something that could translate into the real bilateral energy market that could bring down the price of energy and could remove us or extract us from this kind of an environment where CPPA could be the only buyer. So that's the only way to push Pakistan out of the single buyer model. And then we're also investing and hoping to invest a lot. We've already started talking to the Chinese investors to convert our imported coal plants into local coal-based plants, and we started running the studies and the feasibilities and the economic and the technical and the financial feasibilities for this conversion. And we hope that our energy mix could be a lot, the energy price of power itself could really come down substantially because of this. This might have an impact of close to 2 rupees per unit as far as the energy price of the entire pool is concerned. We are also aggressively investing into something called a power information system. We have a company called PITC, but the role of PITC has been just restricted to offering billing services to the distribution companies, and that's about it. PITC needs to evolve or be converted into the repository of real-time and very properly verified and the credibility data, because data in the power sector is the most important thing and is the key. Unfortunately, even us policymakers at times have serious concerns on the credibility of the data that we have actually provided from time to time. So we are trying to set in place a system within the next year where PITC could be a repository for the entire power sector's data that could then use analytical tools to be able to come up with good proper suggestions and policy interventions for the policymakers to make. The most important part of our reforms is to set in place an efficient technical arm of the power division. The power division needs to make serious policy interventions from time to time. It's not just once in 6 months or once in 3 months, but almost on a weekly basis we are faced with situations where we need to make a policy decision one way or the other. For these policy decisions to be made, we need technical expertise. These technical expertise are unfortunately not available to us. We rely on World Bank giving us some consultants from time to time, helping us through the technical assistance programs that they are able to fund for us. The Asian Development Bank doing that, the USAID doing that. But there is no in-house facility available in the form of technical expertise which could actually support the power division to make all the key policy decisions. There are secretaries that we have, there are additional secretaries and joint secretaries, and then political people or the technocrats in the form of ministers and SAPMs and ministers of state. But I don't think we are all armed enough with the expertise that are required to handle and to take forward this very complex power sector. I don't think if we continue to do or make, if we continue to have policy interventions based on just hearsay, which has been, by the way, happening in the past. In the past 3 or 4 decades, there has not been a considered, well thought out, researched way of even adding generation capacity to the profile that we have, that exists today. It's all been done in a rush all the time. Pakistan used to face all the load shedding that we used to in the past, and every government was in a hurry to do something within the next 2 to 3 years and try to get Pakistan out of it and get the political so-called constituency of theirs to clap for us, appreciating that we've ended load shedding, but at what cost? What energy mix have we been investing into? What is going to be the future? What happens if the indigenous part of that energy mix is not enough to provide Pakistan the kind of energy security that Pakistan must have? So all these things require proper technical information, use of complex softwares and applications that are used elsewhere in the world. Then we've also been relying on growth projections that might have been just a dream for us. So all the demand projections in the future that Pakistan has made in the past have all been at, say, an assumption of 6% growth rate. So when that 6% is not actually achieved, the demand is not actually materialized, and then we end up in capacities that are unutilized, and the rest of the pool of consumers being burdened with that unutilized capacity. We're also looking at seriously bringing in an environment where the tariff slabs in Pakistan are absolutely uniform. We need to give out a bill that clearly states that every consumer needs to build a certain amount according to a certain rate. And then whoever needs to be subsidized needs to be through a social protection program for people to be in the, for people not to easily exploit this kind of a tariff slab structure.
लाहौर में वफाकी वज़ीर तवानाई अवैस लगारी का तकरीब से खिताब, उन्होंने कहा कि बिजली के शोबे की बेहतरी के लिए बेहतरीन इक़दाम किए जा रहे हैं।
सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल दबाएं ताकि कोई खबर रह न जाए।